Craving that unmistakable Weber sear and smoky depth without wasting money on the wrong model? This countdown of the 7 best Weber grills lays out real-world results, nuanced pros and cons, and the one that deserves the top spot for most backyard cooks. By the end, you'll know exactly which Weber fits your space, cooking style, and budget, whether you're chasing slow-smoked brisket, portable weeknight burgers, or a restaurant-level sear zone at home. The list moves from good to great, with tougher criticism on number 7 and number 6 and a progressively more confident tone as performance and versatility improve. Number 7. Weber Original Kettle Premium, 22-inch. This is the classic charcoal kettle many of us grew up with, and the premium trim adds the high-capacity aluminum ash catcher and one-touch cleaning system that make ash management painless after long cooks. In practice, the porcelain enameled lid and bowl hold steady heat better than budget kettles, and the built-in lid thermometer plus the angled lid hook are small touches that make cooks smoother. The hinged cooking grate is more useful than it looks, letting you add fuel mid-session without wrestling the entire surface. Capacity easily handles a family session, think up to 13 burgers with the Weber press, without crowding. Where the Kettle Premium can frustrate is finesse. Vent adjustments take learning, and wind can make you chase temps more than on insulated or multi-vent smokers. The thermometer is serviceable but not lab accurate, so serious cooks still rely on a probe. The single-zone charcoal layout means indirect setups need baskets and attention, and taller roasts can feel cramped under the dome if you load accessories. Still, for price to performance, it's a foundational tool that grills beautifully and can smoke in a pinch with a water pan and strategic coal placement. Durability is a bright spot. Weber's porcelain finish resists rust and peeling for years with simple care, and the heavy-gauge steel charcoal grate holds up to repeated heat cycles. After dozens of sessions, the one-touch blades continue to sweep residue efficiently into that sealed catcher, which keeps patios cleaner than open tray designs. Weber Q1200. The Q1200 is the compact take-anywhere Weber for balconies, tailgates, and camping trips. With 8,500 BTUs feeding porcelain enameled cast iron grates that deliver real grill marks on a small footprint. The heat retention of those grates is legit, helping counter windy conditions that sap lesser portables, and the removable catch pan keeps cleanup quick in tight spaces. Folding side tables and a lid thermometer make weeknight sausages and burgers almost too easy, especially when running 1-pound canisters with an optional adapter for larger tanks. Expectations need calibration though. With a single stainless burner and 189 square inches of cook space, you'll be cooking in batches for groups and won't get multi-zone finesse like a 3-burner cart grill. The 8,500 BTUs are adequate but not aggressive, so thicker steaks require patience and a good preheat to get that deep Maillard crust. At its size and price, that's fair, but if you imagine it replacing a backyard primary, you'll bump into its limits fast. Fit and finish is classic Weber, glass-reinforced nylon frame, tight lid fit, tidy grease management, and portability is the point. It's the grill that lives in a hatchback, on a condo balcony, or in a camper storage bay, and just works when called upon. For quick brats, skewers, smash burgers, and chicken thighs, the results are satisfying and repeatable. Taken as a portable specialist with premium grates, the Q1200 shines. Taken as an all-rounder, it's constrained by output and surface area. 5. Weber Traveler Portable Gas Grill. The Traveler levels up portable performance with a built-in cart and 13,000 BTUs, driving a larger 320 square inch surface, enough to feed a small group without endless batches. The lid locks, the frame folds in one motion, and it wheels like luggage from garage to grass, making it the most civilized tailgate grill in this lineup. Stainless steel burner construction and Weber's even heat across the grate make it feel closer to a downsized backyard cart than a picnic toy. In real use, the extra BTUs and surface area translate to better searing and less shuffling, especially with thicker proteins where the Q1200 can lag. Preheat is brisk, and the deeper hood accommodates spatchcocked birds and piled high vegetables without singing the lid. Grease management is controlled, and the ergonomics encourage more frequent use because setup and teardown are frictionless. Portability comes with some mass. This isn't a tabletop toss-around like the Q, but the integrated stand means one unit does it all. No separate cart to wrangle, and the balance while rolling is confidence-inspiring. For apartment dwellers who still road trip, or families toggling between patio and park, it earns its keep. If your definition of portable includes cooking for 6 with proper sear, this is the benchmark in the Weber lineup, bridging the gap between compact convenience and real-world capacity. Number 4, Weber Smokey Mountain Cooker. If smoke rings and overnight cooks are the dream, the WSM is Weber's purpose-built bullet smoker that nails moisture and consistency with a built-in water pan and stacked grates. The 22-inch variant gives you a sprawling 726 square inches of cooking area across 2 levels, accommodating multiple pork butts, briskets, or rib runs without cramming. The water moderates temperature swings and buffers bark from direct heat, which makes long cooks more forgiving for newer pitmasters. What stands out over marathon cooks is steadiness. With calibrated vents and a full charcoal ring, the WSM holds target temps for hours, turning wood chunks into clean, thin blue smoke instead of billowing white. Access doors let you replenish fuel or water without dismantling your setup, and the vertical profile is space-efficient on patios where a sprawling offset just won't fit. The trade-off is that it's a smoker first. While you can push hotter for poultry skin and even improvised grilling with a high fire, it's not a weeknight burger machine. Assembly and learning airflow are part of the ritual, but once dialed, it smokes the competition, a reputation earned over decades at home and on amateur circuits. If you already own a kettle or gas grill and want precision low and slow with Weber reliability, the WSM is the upgrade that changes what your weekends taste like. Three, Weber Spirit E310 3-burner. The Spirit E310 is the gateway to true multi-zone control with 3 stainless burners delivering around 24,000 BTUs across a 450 square inch footprint, plus a 90 square inch warming rack for staging. Lid up or lid down, it distributes heat evenly enough for sear to indirect workflows that simply aren't possible on single burner or compact portables. At roughly 98 pounds, it's solid without overwhelming smaller patios, and the layout is intuitive for new grillers. In practice, preheat is fast, and moving proteins across zones yields reliable mid-rare centers with defined grill marks, exactly what a Tuesday steak night demands. The Spirit line has evolved over the years, but that 3-burner architecture remains the sweet spot for families that entertain intermittently without needing Genesis-level acreage or accessories. The control over flare-ups is good, and with a clean grate and managed temps, chicken skin crisps rather than scorches. It won't match the Genesis for sheer sear power or workspace, and the accessory ecosystem is a step down from Weber's flagship platform, but as an all-rounder that balances price, footprint, and performance, it's the most sensible first serious gas grill. If you've outgrown a portable and want true versatility, sear, roast, indirect, rotisserie add-ons, this is the practical leap that makes outdoor cooking feel effortless. 2. Weber Performer Deluxe. Think of the Performer Deluxe as the best parts of the 22-inch kettle wrapped in a serious workstation, with a thermoset table, enclosed storage, tool hooks, and the touch-and-go gas ignition that lights charcoal at the push of a button. The result is charcoal flavor without chimney juggling, turning spontaneous cooks into a reality rather than a project. Hinged grates simplify fuel additions mid-cook, and the lid holder keeps your hands free to manage food instead of balancing a hot dome on the ground. In usage, the Performer's stable cart and larger work surface transform kettle cooking. Building 2-zone fires is easier, saucing ribs is tidier, and moving hot pans or planchas has a safe landing. Airflow control remains kettle-like, but with better ergonomics and staging, longer or more complex cooks feel less chaotic. It's the charcoal cook's productivity upgrade. Cleanup stays civilized with an ash catcher and controlled venting, and the cart's wheels plus locking casters make repositioning simple in tight outdoor spaces. For those who love live fire but want weeknight convenience approaching gas-assisted ignition is the feature that gets used every time. If you're committed to charcoal and cook often, the Performer Deluxe is the standard, same flavor you love, with the workflow you've been missing. One, Weber Genesis E325. The Genesis E325 sits atop this list because it marries a generous 3-burner layout with an extra-large sear zone that elevates weeknight cooking into steakhouse territory. The platform's footprint offers expansive primary space with thoughtful ergonomics, and the sear zone, fed by a dedicated high-output burner, creates that fast all-over caramelization that locks in juices before you slide to indirect for finishing. Dimensions in the neighborhood of 57.7 inches wide by 27 deep and 48.1 high make it substantial without being immovable on a typical deck. In testing, the E325 sear zone proves its worth when cooking multiple steaks or cast iron smash burgers. You can stage, sear, and finish without bottlenecking the rest of the grill. Heat distribution across the main grates is even, and lid-down roasts maintain stable temps that yield crisp poultry skin and evenly rendered fat. Compared to the Spirit, the Genesis feels more powerful and more composed under load. The accessory ecosystem is robust. Griddle inserts, rotisserie kits, trays, so the Genesis can morph from steak machine to plancha breakfast station in minutes. While Weber offers variants with even more bells and whistles, this E325 trim hits value, power, and space just right for most serious home cooks. If you want one gas grill that handles everything from sear-intensive steaks to indirect roasts in volume with minimal fuss, this is the one to buy and the one you'll keep using long after the novelty wears off. Final thoughts. That's all for today, folks.